Hey, big guy, you want some more validation?
Yeah, tell me I'm big again.
Shut the hell up.
First time I ever saw you, filming something, I remember I was like, I'm cooked.
Great news for Doc. She's of age now.
Oh, good.
Well, he groomed her.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, videos like these are made possible by sponsors. Sponsors such as Americana Pipe Dream Apparel, fantastic young Zoomers getting after it in the milsurp space and arena. They have a plethora of things to fill out your milsurp collection and take your drip to the next level where you can LARP hard in your mother's basement. Not only do they have milsurp clothing, but they have night vision knives, manuals, and a bunch of other fun stuff. You can even snack on some MREs they probably have. At one point, they sent me over like a Russian military ration. I was afraid to try it out. We also have to give a big thank you to Optics Planet, the optics sponsor of Managerial Outcomes. They have a code for you to use, 7% off the entire store. Everything for that will be in the description down below. Gentlemen, it's just so crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room with rats.
A
rubber room with rats. Rats made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. The Armo Podcast, a extension of administrative results, but it does not follow under administrative results. They are a warring corporate faction with one another. I actually hate administrative results, and it is good to have you back on the Managerial Outcomes Podcast. I am joined by the strong, black, independent female voice of Vintage Warfare and my editor. Don't talk. We're going to be doing some podcasting stuff today. Now you may talk.
Hey, guys.
Shut the All right, so you will put the lotion on its skin. So I just filmed the video. Dude, I want to talk about this. I want to get your take, Austin. I just filmed a video yesterday. I don't know when this will come out. Talking about like the History Channel, Discovery Channel, Military Channel shows, like revolving around firearms. I think it like originally popped up with like the top 10, talking about like the assault rifles and military weapons, like in 2005. And then it's like it kind of like came to an end in 2014, I'd say. With Sons of Guns, with Red Jacket Firearms.
Hell yeah, those were the best.
Do you remember any of this? Do you remember like? No.
I probably came across a lot of them when I was downloading videos for the videos, but I don't remember them specifically.
You don't remember like that intro? It's like the gun used by hero and villain alike, and it's like some boomer just kind of going into this long diatribe with the old school drop down.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I remember
love
videos
that.
like that.
It's so good.
That was peak. That was when guns weren't gay.
Yeah. Now they all turned to being gay.
Yeah.
Many such cases.
Many such cases, really.
You have to do a shot every time we do a Trump impersonation.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll try and keep that lower because there was a few comments that were going after my Trump impersonation.
Oh, were they?
No, there was like one guy. And to that guy, I say, "You're the worst commenter. Maybe never comment again.
You're gay.
You're gay."
Don't cry, commenter. I can see you crying.
In the old school videos you're talking about, like the Navy SEALs that just they wouldn't know anything. Like
Richard Mackowitz. Yeah. I was watching some of his episodes for like that video, and he, like just like the Tavor 21. He was like, "It's an assault rifle, as accurate as a sniper rifle." And I was like, "Shut the hell up,
or
dude."
the dudes who would be in like suits. I feel like that would be a good bit. Is if I got in like the big boomer dude, he'd have like the glasses. He worked at like some Smithsonian museum, and he'd be like, the K98's rate of fire should be 5 stars out of 4 because
just made up metric.
Yeah, just made up. They just made up video game stats for like these guns.
Dude, I was talking about how those guys at that point in time would have been so stoked to talk about this on camera.
Yeah.
Imagine like you're like this nerd, a museum curator, or working at a museum, and you have to do all these like boring school tours, and then like the military channel shows up, and it's like, all right, tell us about the SCG-44. Oh wow, the SCG-44. Hitler didn't like the SCG, but then he came around. It's like, those dudes would have been stoked.
Oh yeah, no, it's a shame. It's a shame they missed out on I guess the gun tube thing. But I'll never get over the Navy SEAL dude just rambling about just the most inaccurate stuff. I remember when that's how old the HK-416 is, I guess, because I remember his thing. He's like, you could fire it upside down, and he was like, he had it in like a Tupperware box that he like threw like ice in. He's like, you could freeze it and could break it open. And I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, I wonder how much these dudes got paid back in the day. Like, they were like the OG like marketing tools. For gun companies.
I almost had like conspiracy theories that like those shows popped up because I mean the global war on terror is going on. So they're like, all right, who's gonna watch this? All right, a bunch of young, gacked up kids getting into Call of Duty. Yeah, we got to radicalize these kids to go fight from the military-industrial complex. Like, let's fund this.
100%.
Because I remember being in that pipeline, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go kill a bunch of brown Arabs for my country when I become of age.
Many such cases.
Cases. I was like, oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna fight against the jihadis.
A lot of underage drinking and those shows, I think, was what got me to join the military.
Yeah.
So, would not recommend. Hindsight's 2020, but
I just ended up becoming a cop. So
you probably took the smarter route, higher paying route. To be honest,
I was if you're not familiar, I was a cop on an Indian res, and one of my brothers, he was a Cav Scout officer. So he's not gay. He has a family. I think that's a common joke with Cav Scouts. Is like, oh, if you're a Cav Scout, oh, you're gay.
I was literally just about to make a joke, and you shut it down before
I knew that was coming. So he was telling me, he's like, dude, you're more of a Cav Scout than I was, chasing around Indians on an Indian reservation.
Damn, that's actually pretty good.
And I was
that's
like, dude, I'll take it. He was telling me about like Medal of Honor citations, like that he would read at like their bases he was stationed at. And it'd be like, this soldier rode down and killed 3 Indians. Awarded the Medal of Honor.
Do you know, I watched this is kind of a tangent, but kind of on the like Indian chase cowboys and Indians thing.
Yeah.
There was a like Bugs Bunny short that I was doom scrolling, as one does when you're trying to go to bed. And there was a like cartoon of like Bugs Bunny as like he was dressed up as kind of like a Cav Scout, kind of get up with the Stensons and everything. And he was just shooting like Indian caricatures. And he's like, 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian. I'm like, holy crap. Dude, it's unhinged stuff. Like the old World War II cartoon propaganda and that it was a different time. I think it was a better time. Caveat here. As the premier POC female voice in the gun space.
Of color,
POC, okay? Sorry. When I speak, you listen. If he doesn't speak, he's getting replaced by 10 Indians tomorrow. Anyways,
Rajit,
just future reference.
Patel. It's only like how many Indian names can you think
Bajir.
of?
I don't know.
Bajir.
I was going to say Panjit, but I feel like that's too on the nose.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's overused.
Ring-a-ding-a-ding.
Yeah. No, actually, speaking of Indian content creators, have you ever met what's his name? He does the Some Ordinary Gamers. You ever met him?
No.
He does like the crypto scams and all that stuff.
Okay.
Is he the guy that has a camera like up here?
Yeah. He has like a camera looking down. He used to do like horror stuff, but no, I think he's kind of he's like a funnier content creator. I watch some of his stuff sometimes, but he was talking about he makes like jokes about Indians like himself, and I think that's kind of funny. Like the dudes who are willing to like just be like, we're kind of getting dunked on online sometimes. You know, like that's kind of, I'd do the same thing. I just think it's a funny tangent.
I think if I was Indian, I would identify as Mexican.
He's getting replaced. No, that's What? So what's the rationale?
Hold on. We've talked about this. You got to lock it in. You've got to lock it in for this.
All right, I'm locked in.
I would play. If I was an Indian, I'd want to be Mexican too.
Yeah.
So what's the rationale behind that?
I think Indian men are the most underrepresented in like the dating sphere. Like they
overrepresented in the Facebook DMs.
Yeah. Makes sense. They're just turning all the women off. So they're not getting any women. So Mexican men, I think women are into Mexican men. I think they think that they're passionate lovers.
So caliente.
Yeah, I think what's working against the Indians is their accent. You know,
Yeah.
like the Mexicans, they have like that, like the Latino suave nature, where the Indians don't have that. It's like the frequency that they put out is just like a little jarring, whereas like the Latin lover, you know, kind of seduce the females. Caliente.
I blame those Mexican soap operas with a dude that has his shirt kind of just enough chest hair right here. I saw the Orange County Housewives watching those occasionally.
Oh, dude.
I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're all about it. I mean, if you really think about it, I really feel like the Spanish language much more seductive than anything the Indians can put out. It's just so like jarring. Like it's like how they're like coming out with like, and nothing about it is like when you hear it, you're not like, ooh, it's like music to my ears. Whereas like when you hear like the Spanish people talking, you're like, oh yeah, that sounds like it's flowing and so pretty
melodic.
or so like attractive.
We love our Mexicans, don't we, folks?
I know plenty of Mexicans.
Oh God. Yeah.
I love that this podcast has just turned into beating on Indians.
Many such podcasts.
Many such cases.
We're just following the trends here, folks. I don't make the rules.
I think like is the CEO of YouTube now? Is he Indian?
Shit.
Dude,
Is he?
I love Indians.
Yeah,
I love Indians.
What was the last one? Her name was like
Susan.
Susan. That was it.
I miss Susan.
Do you?
Yeah, it's the devil you know. We don't know the new guy.
That's true. I don't know. I mean, with the new caveat, but the new gun autos or the new gun
I have experienced that. Yeah. I don't know if you experienced anything yet. I've had 5 videos retroactively age restricted. So they were manually reviewed. Like so, there's a, if you're not familiar, so there's a process for getting videos monetized, and there's a reason why this is important. So, in the process, a lot of my gun content when I upload to YouTube gets limited ads. So then we go through a manual review process for getting it monetizable. Now this is important because YouTube will help push that content out. Helps further the message. I can make more money, keep the operation going, and then so it gets manually reviewed by a human reviewer. So then after this policy update, like 5 videos, some of them weren't even full auto, got age restricted. Now, the videos aren't like striked or anything. You can still watch them, but you have to be logged in to watch. And then the monetization on that essentially gets cut to 0 when it's age restricted like that, because like advertisers aren't wanting to play on age restricted content like that.
Right.
So it kind of does affect, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not like I'm taking a massive blow, but it's like the death by 1,000 paper cut kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it does suck in that aspect. It's like you do a lot of work, and like how AdSense works too is like even if a video, like you'll have like a peak of a video where you make most of your AdSense, but then the idea behind it is you have a bunch of aggregating views on your channel still making money over time. So it's like that's also getting affected, which sucks. So
yeah, I
feel bad for me.
Yeah, I make videos for a living.
I make YouTube videos for a living. I'm done. I know how that sounds, but it's like, it's kind of like I don't have like a good investment plan for this, so this is like it, dude. So.
What's wild is that's crazy that they're worried about
crazy
that kind of stuff.
That was crazy once.
Not again. No, like what's crazy about that is I think I saw that on your story. I wasn't really sure what I was looking at, but that's actually kind of crazy how they go and retroactively punish you. Yet YouTube, and this goes into one of my last videos, the Ghetto Gun Tube.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
And thank you. And basically, like YouTube pushes the like crime. They'll push like crime on their platform, and these get thousands and thousands of views, right? Hundreds of thousands of views in some cases. And there was enough of those videos to where I had to it made me like feel so like doom pilled for a minute that I was just like drinking in my patio. I'm like, dude, this one, like, and then something worse would show up, and I can only imagine that that's for a purpose, right? Because somewhere, this is my theory, okay? Because that video I did on that, which I 100% thought was going to be demonetized, was fully monetized. Don't know how that worked, but my theory is the CIA is running around South Central Los Angeles, Chicago, dumping, Temu tier Chinese switches for P80s, Glocks, whatever. Yeah. And they're leaving that around on purpose. So because how else were these guys? How are these guys getting all these switches? Yeah. And then YouTube's pushing this, and I think the end goal is to get like normies to hate to be afraid of automatic weapons. Yeah. I really think that because like you're watching, they're dumping an entire 33 round magazine into the local Arby's. You know, they're shooting up in the air.
I saw that one guy who was at like the neighborhood park shooting tracers into the water.
Dude, what the my jaw dropped. The best part was he was making fun of the high speed dude, like jumping around, like actually aiming. Yeah. And he's out there just shooting at the Christmas lights or the public park, and that's my jaw dropped when I saw it. I wasn't surprised by it, but like, God,
I have a theory.
Okay, I'm curious.
I think YouTube's more based than we think.
Okay.
So everything we do is legal and above board, and they think we're nerds.
Oh, okay.
And so for the ghetto gun tube, they think that they're based and cool because they disregard gun laws. And so they push their content because they're cooler than us.
So you're telling me that the Indian guy in charge now is actually just a pro two-way? He's a
I
two-way
think
absolutist.
so. I think he sees guys like us and he's like, look at these freaking nerds.
Yeah, worried about
following the rules like a bunch of losers.
Tax stamps.
Tax stamps? What are you gay? And they see these chads out there in their cities running switches and SBRs, and they're like, yeah, these guys are way cooler than these nerds.
Yeah, look at that. Look, I've seen that gun in Call of Duty.
Yeah. That's way cooler. these boys going to run around slide canceling on the ops.
Yeah. But scream, goddamn. But yeah, dude, I'm trying to understand some of the stuff they're saying. No, but in their AR choices, I saw so many just no iron sights.
No, dude.
Nothing. And I kind of like the mentality because, you know, a lot of black people are religious. Like, say maybe they're just saying, let Jesus take the wheel.
No, sure.
You know, that round, it's either hits the single mother of five on her way back from her shift at Applebee's, or it hits the ops. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going where it needs to go. The Lord will guide it.
The Lord shall guide in that round.
Yeah. No, it's, you know, in a way, it is kata-based, I have to say. Maybe we do love, I mean, again, as a person of color. Yeah. You know, I was asked a couple times on my last live if I could do a Blicky with the Switch review, and I think that if I would just kind of, you know, maybe make a trip back to Los Angeles at some point, maybe I find a little Temu Switch, someone hands one to me.
Oh yeah, you go down Skid Row and they'll be like, hey kid,
yeah, you want to switch?
Hey, I had a job in Langley, then I ended up being homeless. Hey, you want to switch?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can hope. You can hope. That's how the Second Amendment truly works.
Vending machine legal.
Vending machine legal.
240 Bravos in Las Vegas should be vending machine legal. Don't ask me how I know.
The amount of comments though that were legit like, nah, this is what the Second Amendment's supposed to be. And I'm like, so what part about it? Like the mag dumping into the air, the Applebee's, like. I really believe machine guns are your birthright. I know libertarians out there are going to be like, you know. There is a thing called libertarianing a little too close to the sun, because machine guns should be given to you when you are birthed in this country. But you know, there was a lot of them that were like, well, I don't know, it's kind of based. I mean, even if some people got to die, I mean, like, it's like. Okay, well.
Yeah, dude, I would love to have some local hooligan out at the neighborhood park clacking off tracers when I'm trying to enjoy a night stroll with my golden retriever.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to just look at some Christmas lights.
Oh, yeah, I would love that, dude, for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly how society is supposed to function.
Oh, yeah, you know, well-governed society. Yeah, listen, I get it. I like the appeal of much less government restrictions. Mm-hmm. The problem is, there's a bunch of idiots that ruin it for the rest of us. Like I always say, like guys like us, guys that watch this, you know, it doesn't matter what your race and ethnicity or creed is. If you're smart and you have a good head on your shoulders, chances are you don't really need the government breathing down your neck. But what you don't realize is how many idiots, just absolute mouth-breathing human beings that exist that ruin it for you.
Yeah.
So that's my
and it's true, because I did add a segment and there was people like, no, the ESG scores got him. No. He said there's responsible black gun owners. He's BlackRock Holdings got him.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I know some of my boys from my Army days and stuff like that. You know, I shoot with them, and they're the first ones who are like, and they're way more offensive about it. I mean that. Yeah. Like, they're the ones dropping like slurs, not me. They're a lot more. They're a lot more. Not me. Well, I mean, not that it mattered. I'm a person of color again, so I'm just shooting with my people. But there were people who were legitimately like, say you're racist on camera, please. Be racist for me.
They want you to be prejudiced for
Yeah.
them because you have a platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And well, and that the whole thing about that is like, oh, like the goalposts for base are constantly shifting, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I called out the problem within there's idiots with guns in every group. I literally talk about all of them.
Yeah.
Like Double Out Sean is a white dude. You know, there are dudes. I know there was a Mexican kid who thought there was like a book, like a what was it? Like a phone book or something, and he shot him.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about that with the Desert Eagle?
Yeah.
There's idiots
His
with
fiance
guns.
just Mozambique.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I bet you she had her glasses on that day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But no, there's idiots with guns of all. I mean, you've seen Arab weddings.
Dude, unironically, I would love to go to an Arab wedding and start clacking off.
I just have to worry about the kid getting his hands on a Tokarov or something, putting one to my leg.
God, dude.
That's actually wild. Now that's what the Second
Are they?
Amendment's
Wait,
supposed
what's
to be.
crazy? Are they even drinking at those?
I don't know.
Because that isn't like drinking like
It's-
haram or something.
yeah,
like,
I
typically
think it
Arab
is.
countries are pretty like. I could be way off. I would
Yeah.
assume like at a wedding like that in an Arab country where they're clacking off, like there's no booze.
I think the rich. This may be speculation, but I think the richer Arabs are allowed to break some rules.
Oh, when you got the money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're allowed to
when
pull
you
a
got
little
that
haram.
$1 trillion oil money,
Yeah.
you can do what you want, dude.
Yeah.
You fly out those OnlyFans models, and you have your
OnlyFans
debaucherous
models.
Saudi Arabian fantasies come true. And those girls are stoked out of their mind that they're making like 50 grand in one night off some sort of debaucherous behavior.
Like the most disgusting things that one could imagine.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Let's get off the OnlyFans.
Yeah, what we going down the rabbit hole of?
No,
oh,
we're
we're,
not.
we're talking about being fair and equal to all.
Fair and
Idiots.
equal. And I'm very supportive of you.
Sure.
Supporting black content creators such as myself, and
I am,
really
yeah.
it really means a lot. And actually, now that I think about it, that's a caveat back to the last thing. The I've had detainees that are like very like they're Islamic extreme, right?
Right.
And they would
They're
still
pretty
like
radical.
dip. Yeah, they're pretty radical, bro. And they would like dip and stuff. Like they wanted dip, So I don't actually think that. I don't think they're kind of like us. Like if we're like, well, you're not supposed to drink, you're not supposed to smoke, but
Right.
like you still do it anyway. They're pretty radical. Yeah, but no, it's pretty funny actually.
Yeah, the I like what we talking about with the base goalpost always shifting, and what's ironic about it is like what's ultimately the truest base. I'm gonna get a little bit theological. Would be the teachings and words of Jesus Christ, and so being prejudiced to another race, just because is not based off his teachings.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So it's like, yeah, you'll get a lot of edgelords on your comments being like, why aren't you being more racist on my behalf? And it's like, well, hey, buddy, this is the teachings of Jesus Christ. Do not promote this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that another part of it is there's a lot of anger about society going
Right.
the way. I mean, can we all agree that the world's kind of going to
World's-
going
yeah,
to, just
yeah.
going to shit
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
So
yeah. The Assyrian ancient texts,
Yeah.
the children are not obeying their parents. Everyone wants to write a book. It's so over.
Mom, the weak men are creating hard times again. That's kind of what's going on, and you get the doomer, and you see like a lot of the boomer generations, and I'm not trying to. There are some good boomers out there, okay, but
Great boomers.
but they're great. Some of the best boomers. We love our boomers, don't we, folks?
You can be mean to the boomers. It's okay.
No. No, there are some good boomers out there, but like their generation is like the most hedonistic.
Yeah.
Like there's someone put it really well, like the Woodstock.
Yeah.
They try and fluff that up as though it's some like, oh, they were just trying to express themselves. They were just selfish drug addicts that wanted to have sex in the mud. That was all they were.
Yeah.
They compared to the other generations, they didn't have the same traumas as the people who wanted to give their children everything. They were the first generation to not want to give their children everything.
Yeah.
Or that wasn't their main goal.
Yeah.
So, but you see a lot of these young guys, right, who will never own a house, who are forced to rent. They see who's getting promoted in society, and it's like,
Oh, I get it. I absolutely.
So that's why they're angry.
You become very disenfranchised when you start seeing that.
And that's when that's when things happen in societies.
I absolutely get it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't get it. I'm just saying based off like the teachings. So anyway, yeah. The boomers, probably the more I think about boomers, the madder I typically get with how good they had it, and they just pissed it all away.
Oh, yeah.
If I was a young boomer growing up and I knew about machine guns, I would have bought so many.
Wait, so you're telling me when I was 12, I should have been investing in real estate?
Yeah, you should have been. Yeah, when the market crashed back in 2008, you should have been buying homes, dude.
I could have done better.
You could have done way better.
I could have picked myself up by the
Yeah,
bootstraps.
imagine being born in like 1947. You grow up, you can buy a house for like $20.
And a handshake. Yeah.
And a handshake. Yeah, you work your summer job, you go through college, no debt whatsoever.
Worked at a record store.
Yeah, now your house is worth like $2 million on beachfront property.
I ain't selling it for less than 2.
I know what I got, son.
I know what I got, son.
You could have had the opportunity to buy a bunch of cool machine guns before they got outlawed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And and a lot of the people, powers that be, that made talk about gun control, even like the centrist boomers. Well, I don't see why you need that. You could have bought it in before 86. I'm not going to say it on your podcast, but I have a lot of anger towards those people, and a lot of them are just gatekeeping their assets. Right? It's the same thing with real estate. Because machine guns are worth. If we stopped, if the NFA wasn't a thing, if all the the anti-machine gun stuff, if that went away tomorrow, that $10,000 submachine gun is now worth not $10,000,
right?
A lot cheaper. Parts kits and all that other stuff. Those exist in quantity everywhere. There's a lot of Stens that I'm sure could be put together and sold for nothing. They'd be the new Mosin Nagant.
You want a Sten? Oh, it's only gonna be like $200.
$200.
If that. And really just a shitty tube.
Yeah, and Stens should be worth like $90.
Yeah, they should be. Yeah.
Fuck that. They're literally just
how sick would it be if the inner cities all started running around with Stens? Yeah. That's the new Stendo.
Dude, I know this guy. He works over at Continental.
Yeah.
And he used to do stuff on the res, like he was a cop, but he would go and serve warrants out on the res in California. And a dude, he showed me a video of him and his guys, like they all pull up, dude's in a casino parking lot. He pulls up a Sten, because apparently gun laws out on the res over there aren't really the same.
Technically on reses they don't really have a Second Amendment.
Yeah, but
because it's a different country.
Yeah, and dude just had a Sten, he pulled it out, and he's like, they would just have them, nobody would stop them.
That's sick. Dude.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that's kind of base.
They could have from my res I worked on, they could have guns, but they had some weird stuff they had to do. They had more restrictions, but technically in theory, my PD could have had the MG42 be its service rifle.
Really?
Yeah.
And you never advocated for that?
I tried.
No.
It got shot down pretty quick. Yeah.
Probably.
Dude. So coming back to the gun show topic, there was the episode in Sons of Guns with the pedophile, where they were doing the modernized Thompson. They're like, it ain't never been done before. They put a bunch of pick rails on a Thompson, and then they did a demo for their local, I would assume, sheriff's office. And I think a sheriff was there. And the sheriff even was like, oh, I could totally see us using this in our department.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine, dude?
Dude, I would quit. The Thompson is not a good gun.
No, they're all hyped about it. I'm sure with the cameras being there, the notoriety of those guys at the time, they're all all about it. They had some SWAT guys kind of shooting it, but it was the MP5 exists, SBRs exist. What the hell are you guys talking about?
The stock alone was designed by an alien.
Yeah.
There's no submachine gun I can think of more that I was disappointed to handle. The first time I ever handled it was a Thompson.
There's just a cool factor.
It's just
about
cool.
it.
It's drippy. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Some people were mad because I kind of compared it to being the 1920s Draco.
I could see that.
A lot of them stockless, extended, drum magazines, whatever. Yeah. It's basically not different from the pieces of shit that.
I wouldn't be mad if I had to use one like a M1A1 Thompson.
That was the best one. Yeah.
M1A1.
Yeah.
M1A.
No, I think you were right. M1A1.
I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
I've wrecked house with it in Hell Let Loose, even though the iron sights are wrong. But it's whatever.
Are they actually? I never really noticed that.
Yeah, so the iron sights in Hell Let Loose for the Thompson, a U instead of the circle.
Yeah, even the developers knew it was shitty.
Yeah, so they're like, I got to give these guys a chance. I'd rather rock a grease gun in World War II over a Thompson.
Yeah. My granddad used to talk about when he got promoted, that he had an M1 for most of his time. So he was in Japan and then he went to Korea afterwards, and he got promoted. He got a grease gun. He's like, they said they could give me a Thompson. I was like, hell no.
Yeah,
I remember him talking about that.
Grease gun's actually super light and wieldy too, compared to a freaking was it like 10-pound Thompson?
Oh yeah. Oh, 10 pounds unloaded.
Yeah. It's a thick gun.
It's really heavy. The sights are just, if you had to shoulder, a lot of people are like, well, it's meant for hip firing. It's like, okay, well, the Germans had a gun that you could shoulder in a line with, in 1918, and they were actually able to actually issue it out.
Yeah.
So the whole cope is, it was meant for trench warfare and this and that. I'm like, okay, so what you're telling me was obsolescent off rip. Like, that's what you're telling me.
Yeah, by the time it rolled around, it's already like, this thing kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not great. The rate of fire on the earlier ones is just way too fast, and it's just.
If they could have figured out a way to make the stock more in line, I would probably,
But that's what they came with the grease gun, right? Because they just said, we're just going to start, we're going to start over on this one.
Yeah.
And it was cheaper because the Thompson was very expensive to manufacture comparatively to everything else. And yeah, you imagine dudes having to just carry stuff around like that through continents,
God.
And they're like 140 pounds back then.
I know, yeah. They're not jacked American corn-fed boys. Like, in comparison, they are compared to the Europeans probably. But compared to where we are today, some 300-pound muscle-bound Marine landing in Taiwan.
Yeah, some guy from Arkansas.
Yeah, just like college football. I didn't go pro. I might as well go join the Marines or something.
Exactly. That's very accurate to a lot of stories I've heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the Germans were probably even tinier. And then I feel bad for the dude that was lugging around like an MG-34 or whatever.
I know, yeah.
That's crazy. SCG-44 is pretty heavy when that was issued out.
Yeah.
Like, people think that's like roughly the same size as like an AKM or whatever, and it's like a big gun.
It's pretty, it's kind of bulky in some aspects.
Bulky.
I wouldn't mind using that. I still often think about just like the video game aspect. This is gonna sound kind of nerdy, but like pitching, say like a bunch of German, like a German platoon versus say like a Russian platoon. Maybe the Russians all have SVT-40s and like PPSHs, or like Wargame, maybe they all just have Mosins, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like hamstring them. And then the Germans all have like MG-42s and then SCG-44s with magnification.
Yeah.
Or Gewehr 43s with magnification too. I'm curious, like the stats and how effective. They're like just strictly platoon infantry versus platoon infantry.
Well, imagine. I mean, that would be a huge like battle, like a force multiplier, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you had just the magnification on a select fire, assault weapon would be. Yeah, I would imagine it would be a huge game changer at the like platoon versus platoon level.
Yeah.
But
in the grand scheme of things,
the thing that killed Germany was air superiority and that air campaign over Berlin, and taking on the entire world. But that's
either here or there.
Yeah, they did okay given the circumstances.
Given the circumstances, not once but twice, they take on the entire world. Give them props.
Yeah,
give them props.
You gotta at least you have to recognize the German military for being like pretty professional for the time. You got to give them that part. But the Soviets, I mean, that the Soviet manpower with the air campaign, the U.S. and Britain was putting on was the reason that Germany,
the Americans bombing them into oblivion.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, a lot of that. And actually, that's my right now. My autism is pointed at the Italian theater. That's what I'm kind of.
Would that be what 43, 44?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So pretty much like Anzio and all those other stuff.
Garnia's brother got it at Anzio.
Yeah, he got Anzio. What's Garnier's problem? But yeah, that's an interesting one that I don't think there's enough media that covers the Italian theater.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of interesting stories that come out of that. A lot of the like the Polish were fighting a lot in the Italian campaign. That's where that bear story comes from.
Oh yeah.
Wojtek.
Yeah.
They had just a bear that they fed cigarettes while they would do whatever. Like,
that's pretty sick.
It's pretty cool.
That's kind of sick.
That's pretty cool. Monte Cassino is a pretty interesting one. I've been watching some boomer documentaries on it. Which these ones actually seem pretty accurate, but you never know. Like I actually 9-hole reviews. This is a tangent kind of on this, but he did a story of like, what books do you read? Because a lot of the like military surplus and historian guys are very like nerdy, right? Obviously,
go figure.
And they're like, what books did you read to source this material? And he was showing the books, like kind of going after this because like the information was just completely like wrong. Like boomers would just write whatever and then publish it and. That's right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like they were talking about like M16s and M4s, or they called it an MP4 or something, and like it's just there were so many inaccuracies. Like there's good books out there, but there's a lot of like media that is also good. You don't just have to read. I don't know how to read. Being from the inner city, I didn't have the scholastic availability as some of you, and you need to check your privilege. But there was a lot of good media out there that's accurate. There's a lot of media out there that's inaccurate. Just because you read books doesn't mean you're an expert.
In fact, if you read books, you're probably an idiot.
Yeah, reading's stupid. You ever seen those like Twitter quotes with the little thing? Reading is stupid. And then I'll just put my little logo.
Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius.
Colton,
What's up?
you may talk now.
All right, here we go. Sorry, I don't know as much about all that stuff as you guys.
What do you know about
What do you know then? What do you know? Come on.
I don't know, man.
You know nerd stuff, I'm sure.
Not much. Not much of anything. Man, I find that I spend so much time like just into like one of your videos that I feel like my mind goes blank about everything else.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
I'm sure you like that.
I want you
control.
like that. I need you invested in every video you edit. I need you like just so deep into the sauce.
Maybe we won't replace him.
Yeah, no. You've been on the fence for a while. I'm gonna keep you around. I like this guy. He's a good fella.
I was a little bit worried, and we'll be talking about this, and they won't know what we're talking about. But when I saw the thumbnail for our last podcast, because you didn't say anything about it, and I went into the video, into your channel's content, and it says, "I'm firing my video editor." I was like, "Oh no!" Like, I hope this is a joke.
That's so funny.
I'm firing you.
You put it in the description, like you're just like somewhere at the bottom waiting for them to like find it. That's so funny.
It'd be a funny like running bit is like every video I just like, all right, you're fired. All right, you're rehired kind of thing. And then like when I actually do have to fire you in the future, it's gonna be like, haha, all right, yeah. No, I'll be like, no, you're
No, I'm serious.
for realsies this time.
Good one.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard this one already.
No, I usually sing his Colton's praise. He does a great job. I'm always really proud of him.
No, you do good work, for sure.
Colton's like I've seen a lot of other videographers and like video editors, and typically their physique is very rotund. So when you're doing like they're really demanding filming, they just kind of fall out.
Yeah.
If any advice I have to you, if you want to get into the video creation space, not only does your equipment have to be good, but you yourself have to be good. It's actually kind of crazy listening to like film guys talk, guys that have either worked on big productions or something like that. They literally talk about it like almost like a military operation. Like their director and producer is kind of like their officer.
Yeah.
And then they have like the grunts like PAs going around doing stuff. And then they have like other echelons of like lighting and like camera guys and stuff like that.
It is kind of paramilitary.
And they'll be like talking about, yeah, so we shot this scene and then like we did this, and then we had to restructure our plan. And it's like, dude, you guys sound like military guys talking, but just about film stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So Colton being in good shape is actually a big deal. So good job, Colton.
That's I guess my worry. I mean, again, I upload from your mom's supply closet because I'm underprivileged, but when we have guys that you were looking into for like doing what you do, right? There is something to be said of like you want somebody like I'm afraid to like trust certain people to do things that I've talked to you about it because I'm like, okay, how like are you afraid? Are you cool with guns? Are you afraid to kind of get around? Not necessarily like okay, you're not gonna stand in front of the barrel or anything,
right?
Are you okay with getting up close to what's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the physical fitness thing kind of does make sense. Like you got to run around with you and stuff like that. You know, that's
you literally run around like this, like where you're like literally holding a position, you're trying to stabilize it.
Yeah, and I guess you could say that like action movies kind of fit that role. Like there's dudes who do that, but like kind of YouTube scale production, like sometimes I don't even know where to begin with that kind of stuff. I go through like Instagram, like, hey, have you ever been around guns before? And I've gotten a lot of no, absolutely not. Because a lot of them sometimes are a little left leaning.
Yeah, typically with firearms in like the Hollywood space, they always have like multiple levels of safety. Doing blanks. They have like their armor on set that's handling everything. They'll take the gun after the actor is done with it. No one else touches it, kind of thing.
Yeah, if Alec Baldwin is anything to go by, then
that's a good example.
Yeah, it's a great example.
Maybe it's for the best. If you're giving a bunch of Hollywood elites guns, you want to have them on a short leash.
Yeah.
For what we do, it's very much like, hey, Colton, you're going to stand probably like 2 feet off the end of this muzzle to the right or the left, and we're going to get this shot. He's pretty cool with it. So
yeah, you guys got it down to a science. I can kind of tell.
Yeah.
You're just get it done. Yeah, no, it's impressive. It's good stuff.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah.
The people that you're looking at, are they just random filmmakers or photographers or?
I'll get people who'll recommend X, Y, and Z to me. Then I'll look into their Instagram profile or whatever. And if I do like the kind of quality of their work, then I'll ask, hey, this is kind of what I'm looking to do.
Yeah.
What, before I even get into the rate discussion and everything like that, it's like, would you be comfortable, say, with something like this? You know? And I've had a couple people have even offered to do it, but the experience isn't there, right?
Yeah.
Like I've seen some of their work. I'm like, okay, I know that this person will probably improve or, get better at it, but then they want it. They're like, well, I'll do it for free for the exposure. I'm like, I'm not here to just use you, man. Like, you know what I mean?
It's worth paying money for good stuff.
Exactly. And that's kind of why, people are surprised, willing to do it for free. I'm like, yeah, no.
I've learned the hard way, trying to do stuff for free for exposure. And there's certain things about it, certain dynamics where it's okay, but for the most part, if it's your thing, it's just better to pay the labor.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about paying somebody for their time. That's the morally just thing to do. But yeah, eventually I'll probably just hire an Indian off Fiverr, to be honest with you. We'll start there.
It's not bad.
It's actually that some of them might be able to do it the right way. I'm just afraid that I'm gonna do this big thing and then they're not going to get the points across that I want to get across, or it'll be wrong.
We'll be surprised that some editors, they're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
You just got to find the right people to plug into.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I know that my commenters, if there's something off, so if I say something, but the edit is wrong,
Right.
it'll be the only thing. And they'll
Yeah, he's done that to me a few times.
Sometimes that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, builds engagement.
Shut up.
Never mind. My bad.
I'm gonna haze you right now.
Never mind. My bad.
No,
I try to make things correct.
Yeah, it's typically what I tell him is I'm like, oh yeah, well I mean the engagement from the comments calling this wrong is okay. But it's he'll show the wrong pistol from a article from 1908 or something like that, and it's well yeah,
So,
you win some, you lose some.
It's not very often though, right?
No,
most
it's not
time
very
I get it
often.
right.
You usually get it pretty on the money.
This turned into a performance review.
That's what the last one was.
Oh god.
Dang. And it's a learning thing though. You got to be learning stuff, doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, I learned a ton doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the thing is I don't know all the stuff. I don't do all the research that you do going into it. So you've got all that research on the front end. It's kind of funny. You have to do a ton of research on the front end. We film it, and you know what's going on. I don't really know what's going on, and then I have to do a bunch of research on the back end, and then you probably forget about most of it.
Yeah, it's like a test. Typically after I do all the research and we film, I kind of dump the knowledge of the test.
Mm-hmm. You do a really good job remembering so much stuff. There's usually when we're done filming, there's an hour and 40 minutes of talking or something like that.
Okay.
And it's you usually have it pretty segmented out just naturally.
Years
Pretty
of practice.
wild.
Years of practice.
I think that's a learnable skill at some point. If you're not, mentally challenged, you can get good at that.
Right,
kind of thing.
yeah. Especially when your survival depends on it. You gotta pay
Yeah.
the mortgage from talking to a camera.
Yes, it's got to pay the bills.
Thank me for my service comments, please.
Yeah, I've tried my hardest never to be like and comment,
Yeah.
but
Dude, YouTube likes that stuff though.
do they? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. I used to think that too. I was like, why do people say that's stupid? Then it's oh, people actually need to get reminded.
I think there's a tier, right?
Hey guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. All right.
The little bell sound that dudes put in tech reviews.
Yeah.
You ever
Ding,
seen
ding.
those? Say the most my favorite are the videos on how to get a lot of views.
No,
have you ever
yeah,
gone down
yeah.
that rabbit hole?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's the videos on how to get a bunch of views have no views.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. The irony, the poetic irony
and
of
it's
it.
really well edited. It's well shot, and
Yeah.
he's talking about all this technology, and it's got 100 likes.
To be fair, it's those are for the people that are looking to create. It's not necessarily for the people that are looking to consume, though. So it's
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair way of putting it. I still think it's funny.
It is
but
kind of fun. Yeah, there's a level of funniness to
the
it.
stereotypical YouTube like and subscribe with the little graphic that comes up.
And then the music, yeah, something like that.
That's one thing I need Fiverr to do is come up with. I kind of like my unhinged intro, but I want to do more of a stylized one at some point. I don't know. We'll see. Everything's an experiment right now. Just seeing what works.
Do you believe that when you said it? Do you believe what you just said?
Yeah.
Hey, cool. Stick to your guns.
Yeah, I have to go pay Indians on Fiverr.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a process, dude. It's a creative process.
I'm just trying to be the other unemployed friend on a Tuesday. That's the goal. Go to Denny's and shoot machine guns afterwards.
Yeah, I thought YouTube was going to be a much more liberating lifestyle, and it is to some extent, but it's crazy how I'm still always working to some capacity.
I mean, it's a business at the end of the day.
Like,
people don't like to... So people will listen to that, and they'll be like, what do you mean you get to shoot guns and I got to be like an electrician?
Yeah.
You know, like people are naturally going to get mad at that kind of thing, and I understand.
Totally understand. You're watching some dude live out like a potentially dream life. Where you're going to get paid to shoot guns on camera.
Mm-hmm. And I understand the angst there, but it's like at the end of the day, running a YouTube channel, like an operation, like some of the bigger ones, right, is definitely not free.
No.
And it's really expensive. I mean, all of this right now all of this kind of stuff costs money.
Yeah.
And people don't really like. The irony is like you'll watch some fake news thing on TV and the guy with fake hair and whatever, he's getting paid six figures to lie to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And no one questions that. But the dude that you're consuming content from and enjoying that aligns with your ideals most of the time, right?
Sure.
At least in the gun space, you have a problem with them making money, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's a line between chilling and you know, just running a savvy business, right? But that's the part about the gun community right now. Sometimes, like I'm very anti-shill, but like I also get annoyed with people who are like, well, they don't. What do they need money for? It's like, okay, it's a business.
Yeah, there's definitely a production that goes into it. A lot of the time and labor behind the scenes to get the refined finished product to make it seem like it was much easier to make, if that makes sense. You know, where like it seemed effortless, but there was a lot of like hoops you had to jump through.
I mean, well, a lot of people don't see what goes into it, though.
Right? Yeah, because it's not the interesting stuff. No. Right?
Well, some people probably find it a little interesting, but like I remember the first time I ever saw you know, filming something. I remember I was like, I'm cooked.
It's so over.
It's so over.
Yeah. Get back to your supply closet.
Yeah, get back. Yeah, exactly. But no, like, but it was eye opening because you're looking around at all the equipment, all the stuff that goes into it, the ammo that's being expended. If you don't have an ammo sponsor, it's a lot. And whether or not people want to admit, it's like you're consuming content.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, there is a service being provided. It's entertainment.
Yeah, and I love my audience. I'm very grateful that they would come around and watch what we do. So I want to try and give them the best thing I can. And it's taking care of the guys that also feel underrepresented and like the current cultural zeitgeist and media and stuff like that. So it's like creating content for these guys that they can watch compared to like the normal media that sucks. Like to me, I take that kind of very serious. So it's like I want to try and give them the best I can.
I mean, as you should. I mean, as anybody with a channel, I try to give them the best mediocre content I could possibly make.
Right.
And and people like it. So it's rewarding to see people like it. But you know, I guess trying to upgrade your deal is kind of you trying to give people better stuff.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
There's something to be said though about like the YouTube chasing the high end production value. So there's a fine balance, is what I've been seeing. So I've been seeing channels. They had a little bit of, I can't remember who it was. It was like dudes that used to work for BuzzFeed. They're all usually all these dudes are kind of like soy boys to some extent, but these guys were doing like a channel where they wanted to put all of their content behind a paywall and essentially turn into like another streaming TV service. So they were chasing that dragon, and it backfired on them.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not against like a streaming service. I'm on one. I'm on with Pepperbox TV. That's a kind of a plug, but everything I still post will be on all my channels, and then it's all gonna be ad free there. And then there is plans to do exclusive stuff on that, kind of like a fallback plan in case we all just get deleted out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's like I create content to be consumed for free, and then I got to run an ad or two in there, but you can just fast forward through the ad.
Yeah.
Let me pay my mortgage, please, and pay my guys. But
yeah, exactly. It's literally all you have to do is, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I think when you're talking about like those BuzzFeed guys, what I've noticed is a lot of those types of people, they all go. So a lot of them go to school to learn that kind of stuff. And I think that there is a lack of, I think the elements that they miss are creativity and self-awareness when it comes to like, who are they trying to promote this to? How do you make something organic? You know what I mean? Like, just a run-of-the-mill, like, let's make, I don't know, the most not creative content that one can think of, right? And then they're like confused. Well, the production value was there. This was there. Like, why isn't anybody really giving me money for this or you know, wanting to watch it? And like some of the slop that I see, and it's not just gun stuff. Like I see like girl TikTok and Insta Reels and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's literally like a 4-second clip of some pre-made song or like trend. It'll get millions of views, and then this person gets like famous or Insta famous, whatever. Yeah. But it's not even content. In my opinion,
consume the slop.
It's just there's no creativity. There's not even. It doesn't have either of the things. It doesn't have production value or creativity. It's just
certain things just resonate with the bread and circus crowd, dude. Certain things just hit.
The fluoride riddled brains of the world.
The fluoride brain loves this.
The microplastics.
Yeah, I think if like. If you're looking to create content to some capacity, you can't, like, you should always be looking to upscale, but you shouldn't be chasing, and this is a personal thought, like the TV production dragon, because then everything starts to get slowed down and kind of bogged down in the mud. If you're like, oh, I got to get a director, I got to get a producer, oh, then we got to get writers and editors. And that's like 4 people that you're bringing like into the pot to make. The beauty about YouTube is it's just you, and then the camera, and then you're making content.
Yep.
Like I got an editor, but that helps out with like streamlining the process of creating content. But there's no one else telling me like, hey, this is what you can or can't do.
Right.
So it's like I have full creative reign to do whatever I want.
Yeah, as far as as long as
the
YouTube
doesn't strike my pee-pee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't get the pee-pee smack.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Which is why the other platforms exist. Now Rumble, everyone always talks about Rumble. No one's on Rumble. I think Rumble, unless something happens, I don't think Rumble will ever be a thing. Twitter has potential, but Twitter's like videos are so compressed and potato that they don't look good.
The presentation's not there on
and it doesn't have
Twitter.
A good catalog for like going through people's videos if they do post videos.
Yeah, it's trying to do a lot, and it doesn't make it really presentable. Like Instagram videos is the same thing. It doesn't. Yeah. It's not the same. Rumble. Yeah, a lot of people say that, and by the way, it's usually the same people. It's like their heart's in the right place,
right?
And it's kind of like sort of the boomer mentality. We're just gonna stick it to them, make our own Truth Social, you know? Like, gotta layer down sometimes, you know. And it's like, Odyssey and Rumble, like those platforms don't have the same reach as YouTube. There's really no monetary incentive to do it. The people who will tell you to go to Rumble won't watch your stuff on Rumble. No. You know, it's just kind of a throwaway comment.
Yeah, you have as a person that's doom scrolls, you have habits where it's like, all right, I'm gonna go YouTube, or I'm gonna go Instagram, or I'm gonna go Twitter, or I'm gonna go to YouTube, or I'm gonna go, like you have like a big 3 typically. Adding another platform that you like start to add into your habitual doom scrolling gets pretty hard.
It kind of does. Now that you say that, that's actually like Orwellian as hell.
It is.
Because I've Instagram, YouTube, and X sometimes just because I'll sometimes want to see what's going on. That's where I get my news. That's probably pretty bad. But
Twitter it has potential. Elon's X. It has potential to be a good video streaming platform if it was optimized with the UI to be set up differently. Like when you go to someone's profile, like finding their videos, you have to go over to their media. Like it doesn't like instantly show their videos. If they could like reshuffle the deck to make it more video orientated, then it could probably start to give YouTube a run for its money. Yeah. Because they have a much lack of rules on there. There's a bunch of people on Twitter, so it has potential to start reaching. And if they could earn AdSense too, it's really hard to compete with YouTube setup. I mean, they've just been around for years, and they've been refining it and getting so good at it. Yeah. I mean, despite like them always striking down the gun culture, but
yeah, I think if they had like some kind of, you know how they have like the 5 tabs, you can go to like posts and like likes, replies, all that. If they had that for the entire platform, but one of them was like a tab that opens up like a homepage, kind of like YouTube's. Yeah. I think that would be like a good addition.
Yeah. If you were more of like a Twitter user that just wanted to use text, you can make that kind of like your homepage for people to click on. Yep. Or if you wanted to make videos, you can make it like your homepage. I'm just, of course, adding solutions to a problem that may not ever get solved, but
yeah,
I'm just like spitballing. I'm taking spaghetti and I'm just Throwing it at the wall.
Look, we're not app developers or anything like that. So
yeah, I'm way out of my depth here. But
We're not Indians.
Yeah, we're strong Mexican men.
You're really solidifying my my plan now to just hire 10 Indian dudes to run Vintage Warfare for me.
Dude, you really should. That would actually be really fun.
I would see just how it pans out.
Just outsource everything.
You know what? That might be a funny video.
That'd be a good bit. Yeah. I hired 10 Indians to run Vintage Warfare.
Run it like a Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Thumbnail. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
There we go. There's a soy jack for the day.
Yeah, there's your meme format.
But yeah, no, that's Fiverr. I mean, I've heard some okay things about Fiverr. You've told me about it. So
Yeah, I've used
I
Fiverr
might
here and
actually
there.
look into it now.
I've stopped using Fiverr, so I'm pretty open about my operation, how it works. So I have Colton, he's like my main guy. Mm-hmm. He does video and editing, and then I also have a staff of editors, I think based out of the UK.
Oh, okay.
So if there's like other footage I want edited, and then there's the podcast studio with Zeke behind the setup over there. So there's kind of three things going on.
Yeah, no, it feels like I'm walking into a space shuttle every time I come in here.
all that to say, Colton's always on very thin ice.
Yeah.
And he's one bad B-roll away from getting fired.
Guys, you got my back. Come on, guys.
This dude's like lips trembling right now.
I know, dude. Colton,
My whole body's trembling. I'm freezing.
I say this because Colton's job is very secure. He's doing pretty good.
Yes.
So getting roasted is how you
Just
know.
getting roasted is how I let
good.
him know.
That's a good sign. Good for you, man. Good for you.
I always tell him that he's doing a great job. Hey, you're doing a great job.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I need that morale boost every once in a while.
Yeah,
Do
you're
you
good.
need any more validation?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Would you like some more validation?
We can get you more validation.
Hey,
today,
big
sir.
guy, you want some more validation?
Yeah. Tell me I'm big again.
Hey, you big strong.
What do you mean
big
by
strong
that?
video editor? Big strong video. You want some more validation?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Shut the hell up.
He's out of here, folks. He's fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Are you tracking the DrDisRespect situation?
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, I am.
Wild.
That is that's actually just like every time I hear more about it,
Yeah, it gets worse.
it just gets like worse.
It gets worse.
Dude, it's really gross to me that he's stuck around. Like for 7 years or like I don't know how long, but those messages that are coming out were from like years ago.
Yeah.
And he's been around since then. It's like disgusting, dude.
Zeke, you were a big DrDisRespect enjoyer, were you not? How do you feel? Do you feel betrayed? He said he did. He said he does.
Yeah.
So don't talk to minors in a very inappropriate way.
Yeah, that was just crazy. How to me, right? One of the craziest parts about like obviously, dude's like a huge pile of garbage, but the fact that Twitch knew about this and let like money get in the way of morality, like that had to have been what happened.
Twitch letting money get in the way of morality?
I mean, he should be flung face first into the center of the sun for using Twitch whispers off rip. But like, it's just how do you put yourself? Imagine being that successful. Okay, first of all, having a family, having a wife, having kids or a kid or whatever, and then you would let alone committing crime and doing the scummiest thing one can do. But you throw that all away just for nothing, and he thinks he's going to come back from this.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Like the hubris and just being like Elden Ring Monday, like holy.
Well, did you see his like official statement?
Yeah, how he kept editing it.
Well, yeah, he edited it twice
Yeah.
to take out the word
Minor.
Yeah.
And then add it back in.
Yeah.
I think there's a parallel to this, though, of something that we were talking about recently, is that if he goes away, Twitch will lose one of their best people, basically.
Well, he's already off Twitch, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's gone. So Twitch or the ecosphere will lose this big person, similarly to how Hollywood lost their big person, Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're kind of disappearing.
I guess I didn't know the scope of Weinstein's influence in Hollywood.
Yeah, we were just talking about it the other day, that's why Hollywood's not as good anymore.
Maybe the secret sauce in Hollywood is just letting them diddle kids.
Yeah.
That's how we get good.
Damn. God. No, I mean, if Weinstein was that good, jeez.
Maybe we give the island back to him.
Dude, I don't
just
know.
saying.
Okay, we don't have anybody that doesn't do that. We can just throw into the mix. This is our best. Oh my God!
This is the cream of our crop. Give him back the island. We want some better movies.
Why is it like? And it's like that's not just like DrDisRespect. Like how I feel like I'm hearing about something like this from some prevalent streamer, some huge internet personality every other month.
Yeah.
You know?
What makes it worse is like he never was like, dude, I found out she happened to be 17. I didn't know. I thought she was of age. Like he never talked about that. Like that was never. It was like this dude knew she was 17 or was not of age and was still talking to her inappropriately. And like that language too, like we had inappropriate conversations. It's so like corporatized and like legalese to like take off the blow of maybe how just debaucherous the convo was.
How like it sounded like Chat GPT lawyer edition. You know? Yeah. Somebody definitely like hit him up. Hey, take minor out of your statement.
They can see that. They can see that I edited it. Oh, we gotta put it back.
Yeah, and the amount of people that are like defending, like him in those comment sections.
I will say when I saw the controversy drop, I was like, all right, let's see how it plays out.
Oh well, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
you want to get the facts.
I want to get the facts. I want to get the whole story. And then when he himself from the horse's mouth was like, "Hey, she was a minor," it's like, all right, yep, that does you.
That's yeah. You could not have handled your own innocence in the worst way. You couldn't have handled that worse.
No.
Yeah, and I don't know. He has a company that he co-founded that they kicked him out of. And then there was something that alluded to. I forget what it was, maybe you know, but it basically one party talked to the parties involved and they made their decision based on, what they heard. So that's like just another thing where it's like, okay, yeah, this actually happened. I don't know. Some people were making stuff up though, or I don't know if it's made up, but they're like people are saying, oh, well, yeah, she was also trans and like some others. I'm like, whoa, like, whoa. I was like, whoa. Sometimes I don't know what to believe. Twitter is Twitter's Twitter, but
yeah, the internet court of public opinion is very rapid.
Yeah,
and so it's like, dude, he's gonna get consumed alive in there.
And this is the unfortunate part. I think that while he's gonna lose and be ostracized by a lot of bigger creators that'll just continue to rip on him as they should. I think that this absolute D-bag is gonna continue to have an audience after this.
I think so,
and I think it's still gonna be sizable.
Yeah.
A lot of pseudo intellectualism going on in defending him. Like, well, no, a pedophile is really somebody that's attracted to the age 12 and under. So no, he's not a pedophile. I'm like, bro, he's 40.
Yeah.
Like what? Like that's you can't make this sound right.
No, it's with an age gap like that. It's just like there's nothing about it looks good. Dude.
Yeah.
If it was like a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old, it's like, all right. There's like Romeo and Juliet laws, I think, that exist. Yeah. Where that gap is just so close, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
But when it's like you're in your 40s, wife and kid, hitting up a minor, talking inappropriately, it's like, dog, you're cooked.
Damn, like, bro, you couldn't have found anybody. Like, you're a rich guy, you know? Like, I'm not even talking about like his appearance or his success. It's like, dude, you're like rich. Yeah. Like, if you're unhappy with your wife, which I don't agree with just divorcing people for just because you're bored, but like you could have done anything else. Yeah. Like I don't know.
Go to a massage parlor.
Hey buddy, Thailand's just one plane ticket away.
I don't understand the rationale. I guess after a certain point, people, when they have money, they just become evil and they're just bored with the norm.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think there's when you start getting that level of notoriety, power, influence, money, you start to become like above the rules. Yeah,
I mean, just the psychological aspect of it just doesn't check to me, because it's like, if he's doing this now, right? He had to have been doing this like before to some degree.
I was thinking the same thing. If this is what they have proof of, there's definitely other stuff out there.
How the fella gets his rocks off, kind of thing.
Yeah. And who was it? Keemstar had okay. So he had said something. Well, they could have met up like 3 years ago. They never did. What's going on with that? I'm like, okay. Yeah, that was when I just stopped looking into it. I'm like, okay, like I'm not doing this back and forth. I either need to hate this person or I don't. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just done looking into it.
Great news for Doc. She's of age now.
Oh, oh, good.
Well, he groomed her.
Yeah.
So
Oh man.
Oh, hey, you can
He's
start
still
his new, you can start his new
Crystalia.
family, I guess, dude. Yeah.
That's. Oh my God. Nothing illegal was.
Chat, nothing illegal happened.
Chat.
I just had some naughty convo with the 17-year-old, even though I'm like almost 40.
He used an interesting verb. He's like, nothing illegal was found or something like that. And I'm like, well, wasn't this like a civil thing off rip?
Yeah.
Like, so if they're, like I don't know if he could be charged with anything, but
No,
like
it's just if he's not gonna get charged with anything, it's just gonna be court public opinion, and it just looks really. It is. I mean, objectively, it is really, really bad. Having inappropriate conversations with another woman that's like not an adult.
yeah.
thing is, he can just change his appearance and go by Carl or something, and
He
he's
just puts
good.
on another wig.
Yeah.
He just puts on like a different pair of glasses and like a blonde wig.
Grows a beard, does something else.
He called his
Oh, this new streamer is awesome.
PhD respect or something. Changes his name, blue vest, blonde wig, like blue glasses.
Hey, he can rebrand. He can rebuild.
I hope nobody clips certain parts of this.
Oh yeah, the context will be so lacking.
Yeah.
Context is king.
It is. And DrDisRespect, you're fired. You suck.
You're fired.
I hope they send you to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, where you belong. Not on YouTube. Is he still partnered with YouTube?
I think they ended his partnership.
Oh, they'll good. Fuck you.
DrDisRespect next stream. Hot drop to Epstein Island.
It's like a Mr. Beast video. If he survives for more than 10 days, we'll erase them. We'll erase them evidence or something like that. That would be funny. It's his only way, or like blood games, like straight blood games is how he has to redeem himself. If he survives, he doesn't get any money, but he
he gets his honor and respect. back.
He'll no, I don't know about honor, but he'll people maybe just think he's a little cooler. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how you get your respect
he
back.
died well.
He died well. That's probably the best way you could do this.
Yeah. A good death is its own reward.
A good death, honorable death. Should send him to like Nicaragua or something where he has to go rescue kids or something. That should be his punishment.
His penance.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was him, I would just move to Costa Rica and call it a life.
I always thought of it, like if I don't know, if I'm ever put into like the thought crime cage.
Yeah.
I always thought I'm like maybe I just like pack up and try and make my way to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Just
Afghanistan, honestly, would probably be pretty sick. You get a bunch of like guns and have a good time.
Or just chill in Pakistan. I'd work at like a Pakistani like weapons bazaar.
I would love to go live in Pakistan, and then I would go fight the Indians.
You join the Pakistani military just to fight the Indians.
Yeah, like I did a video. They're doing the Indians and the Chinese had a big like Galwan Valley clash where they're using clubs and barbed wire.
I've seen that.
I'd bring my longbow and just be like, fight for the Pakistanis.
Get a trebuchet.
Yeah.
Trebuchet going.
I'd want to move into Saddam Hussein's old house. Did they bomb it? Did they blow it up?
I don't know if they
It
did.
looked like a sick compound. I mean, the Navy SEALs had a hard time with it.
I mean, it did look nice.
They got him, but like they still had to like do a bunch of planning.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he was living.
I'm taking my family to Pakistan. I'm bringing my longbows, and I'm gonna go do some border clashes. No guns.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna sling arrows at the Indians.
just blame it on the Pakistanis.
Yeah, it's a Pakistani problem.
Yeah.
I'll be their top archer.
Oh, nice. You're gonna do a little longbowing.
I'm gonna live stream that actually.
That would be funny.
That would crush on views.
That actually would. That's like the dude. The guy who he's like he has something going on with the FBI and they can't get him.
Yeah.
Because he's like some other country and he just uploads TikToks and it'd just be like, you can't get me. You just talk shit.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny. Just do something like that.
I would train a bunch of Pakistanis to be archers, and then we'd have like heavy infantry and like an armor and stuff. No guns, and we just clash with the Indians on the border. And we live stream it.
You should teach him like Roman doctrine.
Oh, absolutely.
Like form a legion, the Pakistani Roman legion.
It'd be tough. I don't know if they would have the X factor. of being able to pull it off.
They wouldn't have the right grit.
The right grit.
Right muscle mass.
They're like other ancient societies. They knew the Roman legionnaires were the bee's knees. They tried to copy their tactics, but they just couldn't. They didn't have that secret sauce, that secret little
They
Italian
didn't have the
sauce.
right riz.
Right. Yeah. There's something to certain like military, like the martial spirit, having that right martial spirit for your society that integrates with it.
Yeah.
Think of like the Japanese samurai, like their level of martial spirit had to get nuked out of them. Now they got anime.
We took their culture as a
Like
war
there's
trophy.
something to it, right? It's like you can't take me and turn me into a samurai. It's like I don't have like the upbringing, the Bushido code, whatever you want to have. I just be a weeb.
Yeah, and see what that's doing for them
Yeah,
right
and
now.
see-
They're all really sad.
Yeah, see how being a weeb goes.
Yeah. Yeah. And right now their society is having problems.
Tons of problems.
Tons of problems. The worst problems. They're not.
Yeah, aren't they
they're
having like a
not-
super low birth rate?
Yeah,
People
so
aren't
it's,
making babies.
they're not getting laid. And that's like actually they I think the government, I don't know if this is real. I've just seen some stuff on it, but they're telling like foreigners, hey, come breed with our women. We need people to come in. We'll give you like a stipend or something for it. And that's
Dude, I'm there.
I know all the white boy weebs are like, can I go to Japan?
they like show up. They're like the fat like kind of
Yeah.
like
whoa, not you. We're
not
looking,
like the body pillow
yeah.
white dudes like the.
We're looking for the 6'3", very stud Nordic genes to help.
Yeah, I was laughing at one of the. Actually, no, I saw it on Facebook. There was another time I saw it, and the people who were like, "How do I sign up?" Were all like Indians. Oh man,
Denied.
oh god, yeah, interesting times in this world right now, for sure.
Those poor Indians, even with like breeding incentives, they can't get in, man.
It's to be honest with you, I think I blame the street food videos that have been going around.
Yeah, that really put a
I think that's-
damper on their sophisticated society.
I think that just kind of stoked the like people started looking at like, because I don't think I ever thought about India until the street food stuff.
Yeah.
And then I started looking into it, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like y'all, like I somehow ended up in on Instagram. I was just doing my reels, and I stumbled onto an ad for a random Indian swimming pool, and it's just dudes. And they're all, and it's just like a chlorine pool. It looked like everything around them looks like kind of like dilapidated.
Yeah.
And it's like, bring 5 friends and like Indian, get one in for free. And it's just like, oh, God. Like, how did I end up here?
Yeah.
But no, the street
Couldn't
food.
pay me to get in that pool.
Well, a
Does
lot
pool
of
smell like curry?
a lot of imagine. I broke my legs running those comments. Actually, I saw a donut operator was the top comment on that one. I forgot what he said, but it was funny. Yeah, a lot of imagine the smell comments. On that.
Imagine the smell.
I think it's the street food stuff and there is something to be said about how like gross. Like honestly,
bad.
their stomachs need to be studied. To be
Yeah,
honest,
I mean they gotta have like an iron gut.
I mean, really, and not just from like the food not being taken care of in like by Western standards, right? But like the amount of spices and stuff they put in them, like I legitimately I don't know how I would. I think I would just die.
It'd be like eating pepper spray.
Like if you gave that to like a European peasant,
Yeah.
like mid-century, like they would just die. They just
it'd
explode.
be too much, dude. They didn't have the ramping up of the Silk Road yet to get them there.
Gave it to a pilgrim or something, like they just immediately implode.
Yeah, that'd be a bad thing. I was working on a joke. I like the idea of this joke. So you know how like the airlines have all the DEI and they're like trying to hire diverse pilots. I was thinking like I want my pilots so white they think mayonnaise is spicy.
That's literally me.
Yeah.
I have a buddy that's a pilot for Southwest. I'll see what he thinks about that. I'll ask him what he thinks mayo is spicy.
If I see any salt or pepper in their lunchbox, I'm getting off the plane.
Got it.
I'm out.
My favorite one was okay. So there was an announcement in this. I think it was an American Airlines plane.
Sorry, last time we had DEI in airplanes, we had 9/11.
It's that's kind of true. I don't.
Allegedly, going off the story.
Folks, we're not. I promise this is not racism. We're just making observations here.
Strictly observations.
But no, there was this like Jewish dude, like, you know, New York, big hat, you know, all that stuff.
Like the Orthodox Jew.
Or whatever.
Or was
whatever
it a Hasidic Jew?
That's it. I think that's it. And there's an announcement over this PA system that, and congratulations to one of our first female pilots. And you see the Jewish guy get up and walk out of the plane.
That's awesome.
I was like, damn.
Realize, recognize, dude.
Oh my God, it's kind of brutal. Like they had I forget what other airline did it, but there was like the whole cabin, the whole crew were all women, and people were just making memes about like what's that movie with Tom Hanks where it goes into the river?
Yeah.
It's pretty. It was.
You
pretty
see that?
funny.
You're like, oh, I didn't pack any survival gear. Damn. I didn't pack my hatchet. Damn.
The first F-35 chick pilot, and it goes off the deck of the.
Hits a curb.
He blows out a tire. Oh man. So not only on the Managerial Outcomes podcast, is there race involved? Now it's sexism. You're gonna have to edit that part out.
No,
Edit it back in.
We'll keep that in. Put it. Oh, you got it.
I'm checking all the boxes of my ESG score, just the opposite.
Yeah, social credit's going down.
Yeah, good.
Then when the pendulum swings back, then we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
It's already. That's why all these memes exist, and they have the notoriety that they do because the pendulum is already swung, baby. It's already swinging.
Dude. It's swinging back hard. People can like there's reality. And there's like this false reality that they try and push where you're like, this isn't real. I can see it with my own eyes. It's like the Orwellian, like, don't believe your own eyes kind of thing.
Really, it kind of is, because you go to the Instagram comments are my favorite. Those are the funniest comment
Instagram
sections.
comments are wild.
They're the most fun to read.
Yeah. And they're so creative too.
They really are. Like, they're sending their best right now to the Instagram comment sections. But I'm spacing right now. Oh, okay, comments. Yeah, so you see these comments, right? And a lot of the time it'll be on like some left-leaning, you know, or not, I shouldn't say left-leaning, but like just some cringe whatever, and people call it out for what it is, and you'll have somebody like, oh, be nice, like, no, you know, don't listen to these comments, but they're just, you're getting ratioed, like womp womp, just 30,000 likes, and it's like whatever, like not listening, and it's like these people are just like, well, I'm not getting ratioed, it's just that there's some of you people out there that are you're wrong, you know, like you're the one in the wrong, but you're looking at the ratio, it's like, bro, I don't know, like. Even if it is wrong, the people are speaking right now in the ratios. So
the ratio is a sign of the societal shift, the separation. Yeah, those that are kind of seeing the BS and calling it out, and they're doing the Lord's work. They are the foot soldiers of the truth.
That's actually a good way of putting it, because it really just is observing objective truth.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of that's just like that soft. People are just clowning on softness, like just in general. And we need more of that, to be honest. If you're an Instagram bully, you are the glue that holds society together.
You are the defender of Western civilization. Keep up the good work.
Yes, that. Exactly.
You are the watcher on the wall, the holder of the gate, the defender of all that is true and good. Keep fighting. Keep commenting. Keep winning. Anyway.
No, that was actually a really good way of putting it. Yeah. Defender of truth.
The defender of truth. There's
a lot to be said about it.
You may not have a big social media platform, but you can still get in the comments and call out BS when you see it.
If you're one of those accounts with 2 followers and you're following like 1,000 people, and all your profile pic is whoa, Jack, you're doing the Lord's work. I see you. I see you in those comments.
You will have a mansion in heaven.
You were the backbone of the movement.
God, I love the Instagram comments.
It really, like, whenever I'm bored, I'm just feeling down. Just go to that for laughs. I really do that. I really do
and
that.
You can sense it too when you see a reel that's just like, what is this BS?
You know, like, whenever people require like a lot of stimuli to come up with an opinion or something, there's certain things where I just look at it immediately. I'm like, gay comments. Excellent job.
Yeah. It's crazy, like all like these, like the most ridiculous looking people putting out the hottest garbage takes.
like they all have a very similar build or look, or just like their internalization coming to life in their physical form looks like a hot dumpster fire.
Yeah, the
physiognomy.
physiognomy. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's I mean, it's real. Whenever if I hear an opinion and there's just like a lot of pseudo science or pseudo intellectualism going on to explain like something that's pretty simple to answer, like it's usually same kind of build most of the time.
It made me really mad that they chose Dr. Fauci to lead the COVID charge. And I look at that dude, he's a soft, weak little doctor, probably has a really smart brain. But if the chips were down, we were going back to caveman law, he would be clubbed on the head and all of his fur skins would be taken from him.
Yeah. Or they'd put him in a fur dress and he'd be picking berries with the women.
Yeah, if there's anyone I wanted to lead the charge for how to handle any sort of anything, any sort of catastrophe, I want it to be a bunch of jacked meatheads, the physically strongest dudes ever.
They're like running out there themselves. They're just
gonna go handle it themselves and save us a bunch of money.
That reminds me.
There's this Australian dude, Tom Haviland. He has the skeleton structure of a T-800. I watched him do a 405-pound overhead press.
Hell yeah.
If there's anyone I want to lead Australia, it'd be that guy. If there's anyone I want to lead the U.S., it'd be like the American version of him.
Hell yeah. No, I see it. I kind of like that reminds me of like Trump solutions. There was a hurricane. There's a hurricane coming, folks. You want me to nuke it?
Yes.
Just caveman solutions like, I hear that there's a tornado coming, or it's heading your way. I'm going to send a cruise missile into it. It'll be all right, folks.
We're going to save you. The big bad tornado doesn't stand a chance against American military might.
Oh, that's in a way that's sort of based, though.
It is kind of sick.
I wonder if that would actually work. Do you think if you nuked a hurricane, it would do anything? Like it would stop it? Or do you think it would make it worse?
I think that could do something for sure.
Definitely have an impact.
If you're nuking in the sky, I think that could do something for sure.
Maybe that's probably the best way of doing it. But like if you just set one at the ground, just flung it into the ocean under it and set, maybe that does.
That might make it worse.
Yeah, we could try it with California. Like if a hurricane's coming to California, they just nuke California.
Yeah.
I hope it falls into
sacrificial.
Like a sacrificial tester.
Get rid of them.
It'd be a net loss.
I'm gonna have to tell my parents to leave first.
Yeah,
they might want to go.
Get out of here.
Yeah. No,
that's a pretty cheap California dig at California.
It's low hanging fruit. It's low hanging fruit. It really is low hanging fruit.
When I said it, I realized it wasn't that good.
So like a lot of the things with like the California, because Californians do move to other states and they ruin it. Technically, I'm a Californian. I moved out here.
Yeah,
I've also lived in California too, and I've moved here.
I've been there once or twice.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Arizonians are moving to California and ruining it.
Yeah. They're making it too good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't think you could fix. I think that's a lost cause no matter what.
Yeah.
But California is like a low hanging, it's like a low hanging, haha, conservative, boomer Republican joke.
It is very like a boomer Republican joke.
And I'm not gonna lie, like the people that are like, I'm gonna run like any California license plate that I see, I'm gonna run that car off the road. It's like in a way, it's like okay, I get it. It's based.
Yeah.
Crime is based sometimes, but like that's also like it kind of annoys me when I hear it. I'm like, why? Like you don't know who know who that is.
Yeah.
Like do you know how many conservatives live in California? There's like a lot of them.
I would save Reno May, dude. I'd have to go save Reno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a real one. No, Reno is probably the gun tuber of California.
The premier gun tuber of California.
The best
Reno
ever.
May. I'm gonna put him on my ballot. We're gonna win California.
We're gonna Reno, with our help. We're gonna put you in Gavin Newsom's seat.
I don't know if Reno will watch this, so if you guys could do me a solid, like Adam, go tell him to watch this segment.
Somebody will clip it for him,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Thanks, dude. Reno, I love you.
Yeah, me too. He's helped me spread the message of the shills being bad actually quite a bit. He helped me kind of get a lot of that out there too. So he's been a great asset for just good moral gun tube in terms of ethics and stuff like that. He definitely does a good job of that. I'm trying to think of who else is out there. I think 2A Jekyll's out there. He's the guy who he goes after all the like the ghetto tube stuff too.
Oh yeah.
I learned about him when I was doing the video because
Yeah.
I was like, dang, somebody else has done this already. I was like, shit.
Dude.
But no, he liked it. So or he told me he liked it. So that's
I have to
fun.
go check him out.
Yeah,
I'm
actually.
just hearing about it for the first time.
So he has like he wears like a balaclava thing, but he's
That's stupid. Who'd wear a balaclava?
I don't know.
Balaclavas are dumb.
It's pretty gay.
Anyway, you're saying?
Yeah, no, he does like making fun of smart individuals. I think that's what his audience calls them.
Yeah.
But a lot of like idiots with guns kind of stuff. It's good. It's good kind of. It's funny content. Yeah, it's good stuff. But
So he's doing the Lord's work?
He's doing the Lord's work too. Yeah.
Good.
I think Armed Scholar's out there, but he's like a lawyer or something. I don't know. I don't know much about him.
A lawyer?
I think the attorney, firearms attorney.
I'm not sure. Here, hold on. I got to pee real quick. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that when you're looking for people to make gun videos, I have found just looking in the tactical, like who's taking photos in like tactical Instagram. That's how I found like a lot of media people in the gun space. I think that would be a good place to look because when you're just looking at like filmmakers, photographers, most of them are going to be left leaning.
Yeah, I know that's like I don't really care so long as they don't pipe up about it while I'm trying to get stuff done or whatever.
Yeah.
But like if your work's good, your work's good. But yeah, ideally I would want somebody that's a little bit more open-minded or just willing to do the work, do it well.
Yeah. I've just worked with people. I've had to work with people on the left side in the past where they were my bosses and stuff, and I've had to like keep my mouth shut. So I know I'm just like
at levels of like you're gonna get DEI fired if you say anything.
Yeah, I had like a Korean lesbian boss for a long time, and I was a big Trump supporter. But to everybody in Iowa, I was Yang Gang.
Yang Gang.
Yeah, you don't remember Andrew Yang?
Damn, that's old. Wow. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, dude, I was full Yang Gang. Let's get this bread.
Yeah. Okay. I remember that whole thing. So so you had to keep your mouth shut because she like what was she? Do you know?
I just did keep my mouth shut. She was definitely more liberal. Everyone around at that period of time in my life was more liberal because I was around those people.
Right.
But I didn't have to keep my mouth shut, but I just did it to make my life a little bit easier.
Sometimes I don't know. I'm kind of split on that, right? Because it's like part of the issue is that we're not saying things that should be said. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if somebody's like trying to be uppity about that, and it's like a professional environment, like a lot of people just need to be told, "Hey, guy, shut the up."
Yeah, I definitely think that it's not a good thing to be hiding your values on stuff like that, but for where I was in life, I felt it was kind of necessary. But now I'm glad that I'm at a point where I don't need to do that, and I get to work with people that have pretty much the same values as I do and can make jokes.
Or even if you don't even have the same values, it's like you don't have to worry about somebody tattling on you like in second grade that affects your livelihood.
Yeah,
right?
and getting canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
Catch me up. What are we talking about?
I was asking him, or how did we start? He was talking about Korean lesbian last
Yeah, so we were talking about him finding someone in the tactical space for photography, video, and because I was saying that most people in the filmmaking photography world are left-leaning, so finding people that are similar to us is better.
I'll give the audience my secret advice for finding the best videographer you probably find. I'll give this advice to you. So if you are going to church and like you're just plugged into a church and they have any sort of media presence where they live stream or they film the service, like hitting up those guys that film is not a bad idea because
Actually,
they have a really good, they already have a good like baseline of like good moral belief and compass.
Yeah.
And then if they have any competent knowledge of running a camera, I would do that.
That's actually a really good idea. Damn.
And a lot of times, a lot of the people that I've known that did work for churches that do video stuff knew their stuff too.
And they're already going to have like a more conservative leaning anyway. So guns will, like they're probably already going to be gun owners anyway too.
Yeah. No, that's actually a really good
Like I'll run into dudes from my church at a gun store all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, they're already gun-toting type folks.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
they'll have a more natural inclination towards videography.
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling all the churches.
Yeah, just go to church. That's my secret. There's really no secrets to how I make stuff. It's just all the time and effort that goes into it. There's not like a secret sauce, right?
Yeah, things just kind of happen how they happen.
Yeah, I'll see guys pop off and make a cool video every once in a while that just came out of nowhere. But the problem is you have to keep doing it over and over. That's like the hardest part.
Yeah, that's probably the most from the creators, but at least in my opinion, like coming up with new ideas. Because now that I'm trying to keep it to like a weekly basis, now I'm like, oh God, okay, what do I hate this week? But I mean, I have a lot of hates out there, but it's to create something that's like actually engaging and actually makes sense. Like sometimes, like if I don't have anything to talk about, I'm just not gonna upload for like another week or whatever, or just talk about something in general. But I do try to I have to come up with something that's engaging in a way that's like I try to make it somewhat like, okay, this is getting me thinking about something that's actually something worth kind of criticizing, or like a person that's actually deserving of criticism. But like guns is probably an easier thing to do in a way because there's so many of them out there.
Yeah, you can really, even then, I think people can get burnt out on just gun topics too. I've tried to diversify a lot of my stuff on the main channel, especially. One of my favorite things to go over is probably like the movie review type thing. It's not necessarily just a movie thing, but like the context around the film, the historical context too. Like I really enjoy doing those because it's like if I keep doing gun content over and over and over, I'm gonna make myself go crazy.
Yeah.
So having a crazy.
Crazy?
I was crazy once. They locked me in a room.
A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy.
Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room.
A rubber room with rats.
And rats make me crazy.
So, yeah, I've had people ask for more general history stuff.
Yeah.
Like on my channel before, I've had people like, hey, talk about Armo more. Talk about planes and stuff, and like other stuff that's interesting. I've seen that you're kind of branching off into like more of kind of like the archery, the medieval stuff. Like that's interesting stuff. That's interesting stuff, and I think that fits the overlap of the channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people are going to learn something because I don't feel like that many people are like super into like crossbows. You know what I mean?
I've been genuinely obsessed with like English medieval archery since I was probably like 13 or 14.
Oh wow, okay. So I didn't know that.
And then I always thought like this topic would be way too out there for my audience, and it turns out everyone enjoyed it. So
you'd be surprised by the overlap of some audiences when it comes to certain topics. I mean, that kind of checks.
Yeah,
right. It's like cool stuff.
My English warbow video has done better than like a Knight's Armament SR25 video.
Yeah, I saw that. It's doing really good.
Yeah. So
that kind of doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah. Archery is sick, man. There's something in the dude that just loves archery.
The dude yearns for the bow.
Yeah, the boys yearn to take on hordes of Frenchmen with their war bows.
Yes, yeah. No, and I mean, if you think about the topics that go along with that too, if you were to go into the history of like battles, like how those would actually go down with with bows and all this other stuff, like it's genuinely interesting stuff. Like the hell of like 100-year war in the middle of Europe, during plagues and stuff. Like it's cool.
Yeah, I mean during the 1370s, I want to say they were hit by the bubonic plague, and that really affected a lot of the warfare that went on. Like just smaller battles or like smaller armies at these battles. Like at Poitiers, I want to say it was during the bubonic plague in the late 1300s. Yeah, and it really just like. Yeah, it's like the numbers weren't as big as say Crécy or Agincourt, if I recall correctly. It was still a big battle.
For the time, I mean, I feel like battles back then, like people picture these like battles of like, cinematically, right? You watch a movie on it or whatever, and you're picturing like, 100,000 dudes running at another 100,000 dudes, and that's not really the size of those battles back then.
No, I think the only thing maybe back in the day like that maybe been like, not the only thing, but like something I think about, like ancient Rome having massive battles. Yeah, I think that. Cannae, like the Romans got killed by the Carthaginians. I think they lost like 90,000 Romans or something like that. Yeah. Or like Alexander the Great versus the Persians. Right. I think it was the Battle of Gaugamela. Is that right? But he was going to be in some massive Persian army. He only had like I think 40,000 soldiers.
Yeah, but people think it's like way more.
Yeah,
than,
they think.
than
I mean, those pretty rare for antiquity.
Yeah,
it's not until we get to like the modern era, like the Civil War, or like the 1800s to early 1900s, you start getting the millions.
Yeah,
and then like Operation Barbarossa was what, like 3 million Germans.
3 million Germans, yeah, versus however many.
Yeah,
Russians.
you got to think like ancient warfare is so specialized. All that goes into all the training, all the logistics. You couldn't get those massive numbers maybe until the Industrial Revolution happened.
Yeah,
It's where like now it's like, especially with firearms, where everyone can essentially become a soldier.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because there was like warrior classes in most of society that was like hierarchical, right? Like knights, and then versus like men at arms, like just a guy with a helmet that he could afford with a spear versus
and the idea of training people that may not be fiercely loyal to you didn't seem that appealing at the time either.
Yeah.
Even like when guns started to roll about, it's like that. I could have swore there was a thought process of like, ooh, do we really want to arm the peasants for soldiers?
Oh yeah, and there's probably many instances in where peasants, revolted over and over and over again. I'm trying to remember. There was this one story about this. He came up with the phrase lick my ass. He's a German guy. I'm trying the Iron Hand. I was watching a video on him. But he was like I guess he was leading a peasant army. This guy's story is actually like mad entertaining. He would take dudes like for ransom, and he kept getting like excommunicated, and so he would have to go and be like, all right, like he would start wars with cities because he didn't like them. Like the dude was kind of based, to be honest with you, like. Yeah. Bro would be like, I have beef with Munich today. And he would just like pillage it.
Hell yeah.
It was.
This sounds like a 1600s era thing. Am I?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Something of the Iron Hand. I'm trying to remember his name. It's worth the story, bro. It's so funny.
The 1600s in Germany were pretty wild due to the Protestant Reformation. I think they listened to the Dan Carlin hardcore history thing, and it was like they would have like these dudes in like the Protestant Reformation that would start to like be essentially claiming to be like these prophets or messiahs and just radicalize a city, and they'd become like the god prince of the city, and then everyone started to become more destitute as like they become like the god prince.
Yeah,
and it's like this is crazy, and then like. The rulers of the city would lose control, so they had to besiege their own city, and then like the god king of the city would like radicalize, and they'd fight back, and
humans are crazy,
just
man.
Wild,
wild. And we think we're like crazy now.
We think we're crazy, but we're pretty tame. Man.
Like we're very tame compared to
very
what we
tame.
used to be.
Yeah, I mean, once we got refrigerators and Wi-Fi, I was like, I don't know if I want to fight and die for a cause.
Long oversea excursion on a wooden ship or Netflix.
Yeah, I'm gonna chill out.
I'm just gonna chill.
Tell me I can binge watch One Tree Hill for 8 seasons.
Yeah, I'm currently living that right now.
I'm okay. I'm gonna pass on that flight. Yeah, we've become very soft.
Yeah, and it not even compared to like World War I, World War II generations.
Yeah, they really wiped out the cream of the crop with those generations.
I really do. There's gonna be Europeans who're not gonna like this tangent, but I'm convinced a lot of your bloodlines are cucked now because most of you died in wars for hundreds of years, and now you are the way you are. I don't know.
I don't think it was as big of a deal. Like there were wars before, like World War I. World War I really was the kibosh on the world. Because you got to think like how we're talking about, a lot of those battles in Europe weren't massive millions of people dying battles.
Yeah.
Like you think of Verdun, was it 800,000 dudes died?
It was like at a minimum.
At one battle.
And the battle was like a year long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, dude, that scale of a meat grinder destroying the cream of the crop of your young men.
It wiped out generations.
Yeah, entire towns gone.
Yeah, and they all knew each other. That's just, I guess that's like the saddest part, right? Like that whole like going with your boys is all of you dead.
Yeah,
But I think like when you say like an entire generation is wiped out, I don't think people really can like articulate that in your mind. Imagine like every dude between the ages of like 17 and like 30, just gone, and the ones that come back are just like. Not normal, and it's not very many of them. People don't understand how crazy that really is. And it's no wonder that, you know, there was a lot of hesitancy to get back into war during World War II.
Yeah. I mean, think about like the medieval battles. It's like a massive battle back then would have been like 50,000 people. And if they all die, it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was like one afternoon in World War I.
Yeah. That's 2 hours in that's 2 hours on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, we sent this division to charge this line. They all died. Ooh.
Yeah. Send another one. Send another one.
Send more to charge the machine.
Score some goals.
God, dude. Yeah, World War I really put a damper on the party.
Yeah, it did. So I've had people ask me, one of the biggest things that pisses me off was when how did that affect you? Does it really matter? I'm like, it kind of
how does it affect you personally?
How does it affect you
The
personally?
soy jack meme as Western civilization falls.
You know, it's like, that, but like that applies to so much stuff. It's like, well, how does World War I, like your take on World War I, like affect you? How does it affect society? I'm like,
go back to your grandpa's grandpa.
Like it explains all geopolitics up until today. What do you mean? Like,
of course the Balkans ruined everything.
Of course the Balkans again. Hey, some things are meant to be the way they are.
It's tale as old as time.
A tale as old as time.
If anything happens, it's going to come from that silly place, the Balkans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Churchill.
Yeah, people, when they just, the lack of understanding of history, and there's so much to unpack with context, and like, I feel like I have a rough grasp on it.
Yeah.
But like, there's so much that goes into it. It's like World War I is not that far away.
No.
My family, a lot of my like immigrant ancestors would have been coming over in like the 20s, and then I think one came over in like 1918. So it's like half German, half Italian.
Yeah.
So it's like those are my grandparents' parents.
Yeah.
Like even maybe their grandparents. So it's not that far removed. Like this affects you directly.
Yeah, and it's, I guess in a way it's sort of on both ends, right? So like it's very, very recent in the grand scheme of things, but how quickly like we forget those people, you know, just 100 years ago, you know, and they're just don't forget unless you actually care about that stuff. But like I know a lot of people in their 20s and early 30s, they don't know anything about their grandparents. It's not that the information's not there; they just don't care. Yeah, which I think it's sad. You know,
it is sad. I think there's something to be said about knowing where you come from.
Yeah.
Understanding that and how it impacts your life in the current modern day and age.
Yeah, I think heritage is one of the things in society that really gives human beings purpose, right? Yeah. It's just another one of those things, like building a family, all that other stuff, like being proud of it, your heritage, your country, you know, whatever. All those things are very important.
There's something to be said about living in the here and now just for yourself, as opposed to also as opposed to the thought of like, I am doing everything I should be doing is so that my grandchildren can have a good life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like up to them. It's up to your kids to think that way too, up to their kids to think that way. So I think it's like, of course, I know when you start going down this path, it's like of course, this is how I fix Western civilization, but it's just the thought process I have, at least. Yeah, no, and I mean, there's a lot of things that are needed to fix what's currently happening. Oh boy, are there.
Yeah, and there are some things that I don't think can just be one size fixed all fixed. It's kind of like the economy right now. Okay, we're not able just to fix that. Like we have to tank first. You know, it's going to be messy.
Yeah, it's got to get worse before it gets better, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Doom.
Fear. I can't say that word. Fear core.
All right, well, let's close out of here. Gentlemen, I appreciate you stopping by, listening to us to ramble about multiple different topics. Austin, where can they find you at?
Okay, Vintage Warfare on YouTube and Instagram. There you go. Support your favorite female person of color.
Colton, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, watch my videos on administrative results.
Good plug. I like this guy. He's a good fella. I got nothing else for you, gentlemen. As always, I'll catch you on the flip.